Hello and welcome to Book Marketing 101. I am Nerissa Golden. I am the CEO of Golden Media, also the founder at Naji. You can find us at najischool.com. It's an e-learning platform designed for entrepreneurs, Caribbean entrepreneurs in particular, to help them navigate the world of business. I am also an author and a business strategist. Now, today we are going to talk about marketing, some things that I want you to consider. And I believe, I want you to take a different perspective on what you've been doing as it relates to how you are going to get your book to the audience that you want it to reach. You need to have a business strategy and a business model in mind. What I mean by that is from the onset of the book journey, I want you to be thinking about where you want the book to take you and how you want it to take you there. And part of that is you need to decide what form the book is going to take. Is it going to be strictly ebooks? That way you don't have to worry about designing a full cover, figuring out how to purchase books so that you can have them to resell when you go to events, things like that. You get to decide how people are going to experience a book. And it's very important that you do that early versus it being a last minute decision. And then we check and realize, oh, I only can get it in an ebook format. I really wanted a hardcover version. So upfront, when you decide those things, then you can prepare us to know how we are going to experience a book rather than the disappointment of finding out, oh, I have to order the book. I really prefer reading online. Because there are people who will prefer just to purchase an ebook copy, and you can do that. And I suppose that's another thing. Just because it's an ebook doesn't mean it needs to be cheaper than a print cover or a hardcover, because the value is in the contents of the book. It's not about whether I have it in my hand or not. Your book could be something that a tool that you're using to give you access to people. I know there are lots of business coaches and strategists who would suggest that you think about your book as simply your business card. You know, it's a very expensive business card to create, but you know the bigger opportunities on the other side of that, because that book is going to get you into rooms with people who can make decisions to hire your company, to invite you to speak, to do different sorts of things. So decide what the journey is that you want to take with your book. Like I said, you may want it to use it to open doors to speak, to be a coach. Maybe it's the first book you're going to give away. Romance authors do this a lot, where they give away the first book in a series digitally, and then it's an incentive for you to go and check out the rest of the series. And in a case like that, it means then that you're not just thinking about the first book, but you're already thinking about the end of that series and how long it's going to take you to get there, and how you are going to keep us excited about wanting to follow these characters from book to book. You need to have a marketing plan. And I want you to be thinking about that even while you are still formulating your book idea. And even if you are not the one that's going to execute it, you need to already know that marketing your book is going to be your responsibility. Even if you have a formal publisher, they are not going to be doing all the work for you. So you need to have your own marketing strategy as to how you are going to get people to know about you, to know about your book, and be able to access the book. Set a goal for the book. Be very clear about who the book is for. Not every book is for everyone. If you write for children, do you write for children? Well, it's books around people with special needs. So how would you reach people or parents who have children with special needs? You need to know who the book is for. Is it for everybody, but it just happens to be talking about children with special needs? All of these are different things that you need to think about up front, so you can have an idea of how you're going to be able to connect with them, for them to know that you were there. What other books are already in the marketing place that are similar to what you are trying to create? Look and see, because you don't always have to be completely original. We actually like what we like, and we usually buy more of what we like. And so you want to make sure that what you are creating already fits what's already available in the space, and it's probably just adding more value and adding a different perspective on the same conversation. And then think about your personality, the resources you have, the time that you have, and say, okay, what am I going to do to make sure that I let people know about the book? And then how am I going to measure success? And what is your definition of success for this book? You must create a budget. You have to spend money. I don't care, even if you think that you are planning to do the whole thing yourself, it's going to cost you. Whether it is you prefer writing on the beach, even if you're on your own laptop and you got your Wi-Fi, you've got to pay for the Wi-Fi. You've got to pay to drive to the beach, whether it's your car or the bus. If you're going to go and do an interview, you have to get your hair done. You need to put on a nice dress because you can't necessarily wear the same dress everywhere. So you're going to invest in different elements along the journey of producing this book. I believe you should invest in a good cover design. We can see when you've done it yourself, when you've used Canva or some other platform to create it, and it doesn't fit what's in the marketplace. We can see that it's obvious, and it immediately in our minds, in our subconscious, makes us have a different opinion about your book and you. So a good cover design can get you more than halfway through the door of getting a sale. Invest in an author photo, get high quality photos taken. Nothing worse than asking people to send you their media kit and the photo is a selfie. We've literally received selfies for the literary festival that someone's taken and wants to be used as a photo, their professional author photo. Invest in having good photos taken of yourself if you're serious about being an author. Have other types of photos of you socializing, maybe at a previous event, because you want to give us a really good perspective about who you are. We want to see your smile. Are you pretty serious? We want to know that up front because all of these things are going to help us to decide whether we want to buy your book and we want to connect with you in a different way. Think about that. You're going to have to purchase copies of your book. You're going to have to ship them to you, whether to sell locally for your book launch or because you're going to an event, you want to have copies of the book with you. You have to disallocate funds to print the books and have it shipped to you wherever you are. Invest in money for advertising, whether you're advertising on social media, on your local radio station, a newspaper, whatever it is you choose to do, you must have some money allocated to do that because, especially if you use social media, organic reach has dropped significantly. Even if you have 1,000 followers, it doesn't mean that 1,000 followers see what you've posted. In fact, less than 2% of them are going to see it. So there has to be a very intentional actions that you take to be able to get people to be aware that you have a book coming out. And if you're going to do a launch event, you've got to invest in making sure you have good quality captures. A videographer is a good deal. Maybe a videographer that also does photography can work for you. You're going to have to feed the people, even if it's just a little bit of champagne and some hors d'oeuvres. All of it costs the venue, decor, your outfit. It's going to cost you. So set a budget and begin to work to build the funds up to be able to do that. For me, I want to encourage you to build your community. A lot of people want to have a book because it's a dream of them to write a book, but then we've never heard of them in any circles. They're not active on social media. They don't speak on the radio. We don't see them on TV. They don't have articles in the newspaper. And then it's like, oh, look, I'm an author. It's like, how are we don't know who you are. Why would we buy your book? So from the onset, even before your book might be a dream, I want you to build a community because it's going to be easier to sell the book when you already have a community of people who know you, who love you, and are invested in the things that you say. We judge books by cover. Just like how if you put a plate of food in front of us and it looks like a big bowl of slop, unless it's supposed to look like slop and we're supposed to love it because it looks like slop, we are going to look at your cover and we're going to say, this looks like slop. Even though he says, "Oh, okay, congrats, you got a new book," but in the back of our heads, we're like, "Ooh, don't like the color, don't like the font." All of these are little things that happen subconsciously, sometimes for people, why they choose to walk away from you versus purchasing what you've created. So you have to be willing to invest in creating a good cover. Do research to see what is already trending in the marketplace in the genre that you're interested in, and then see how that you can create a cover that has a similar energy, maybe color style, font choices, things like that. I encourage you to get someone to write the back of the book blurb for you. This is how a lot of people decide whether they're going to purchase the book. After they've loved the cover, they're going to turn to the back to see what it says. And you want to make sure that it really excites you. And don't you have to be able to do that in as few words as possible without giving away the story, but makes us say, okay, I need to get this book. I need to have one of my own. Again, invest in a well designed cover. I can't say it enough. Front and back, do the work. It's going to pay off in dividends. And as authors, you must love your cover. You're the one that's going to have to look at it day over and day out. So day in, day out. So if you've asked someone to do it for you and they said, okay, this is it, but there's something inside of you that's not excited about the cover, then you need to say so and get it to the stage that you want to get it. Also, something I want you to think about, a lot of people, I don't have a good example of it here. A lot of people, when they're creating their book, they make their book cover massively, the name of the book very big, and then their author name very small. If you have been building community, I'm probably going to be looking for your name before I look for the cover of the name of the title of the book. So it's okay to have a nice big font of your name. And you'll notice there's some authors in the marketplace that the first thing you see on the cover is their name. Men tend to do this a lot. Um, and their name is big and bold because that is their brand. If you've been building your brand, then I want to see your name big and bold on the cover of your book, just like I'm looking for the name of your book. So don't diminish the size of your name on your book cover. You need a media kit. Oh my goodness, you would not believe the things that get sent to us every time we do a call for new authors for a media kit. Uh, Invest in the time to create a good one. Search for authors you admire, go look for their media kit, download it, see what's in it, and look at how you can create similar things for yours. Now that we're in a digital space, you want your website to have access to the media kit. In terms of, you don't just want it to be a document. Please don't make it a document and you've embedded the photos in it. Often they come distorted. We are not going to take the time to try to right click and save your photo and all that sort of stuff to get it out of the Word document or whatever you've created. Your photos for your author photos, your book photos should all be separate images within your media kit folder. You could create a Google Drive and have all of these different elements, and they must be labeled. We can see when someone sent it to you via WhatsApp and that's what you've used, and you've downloaded it as WhatsApp, and you haven't bothered to rename the image. Rename the image and say author Nerissa Golden 2023 photo, author photo, or whatever it is. Put the name of the cover. So go back and label all of your photos very clearly so that whenever the journalist or whoever gets your media kit, it's very clear who is in the photo, who took the photo. You should also give them credit on your image so it's very clear that you had it professionally done and that this is the person that should be credited for their work. Even if you've purchased it, you should still acknowledge the photographer. Include a press release, a draft press release that can be an introduction to you, tells us what the book is about. If you've got some great reviews, maybe you have one or two people who've commented, and you can include that in your press release. And it should also tell us where we can purchase your book, where you're going to be, and how we can access you online. Always include links to your socials, and you should also tell us where we can purchase the book. Don't let us have to search for it at every possible opportunity. Include the links to your, whether it's your Amazon follow page, author page, the actual link to the book. Make sure that you do that, because it's important for us to be able to do that. There are lots of other authors in the marketplace, lots of other things taking our attention, and you want us to stay engaged and you want us to go the extra mile and to purchase the book. So make it easy for us to do that. If I've got to jump through hoops, I've got to go to your page, and then you're telling me I need to call you to get a book, then no. I should be able to just click on a link, make an order, for the book. I can pay online as much as possible, or you're going to say, all right, here, order the book here, and then I will be at the so and so library on Friday. Everybody can come and pick up their books, but at least you'll get to the library and you know you'll already have 30 people that are going to show up because they've already paid online for the book. But make it very easy for us to connect, purchase your books from you. Now, as it relates to digital marketing, and digital marketing is all of this, the things that you're going to do online, whether it's email, whether it's any social media, anything that you're doing that requires the internet to be able to get a message to us, those are elements of digital marketing. So set your goal. Is it that you're just trying to make the Amazon bestsellers list on the first day? A lot of people do that because they want to be able to say Amazon bestseller. So that's why they often are giving away their book or giving it away at a reduced price, whatever that target is, and set a particular one. So maybe your current goal right now is not so much to sell enough books. You're just trying to make a bestsellers list. That is fine. If you want to sell books, then that is your goal. Set what the target is and then work towards it. Be very clear who the book is for. Find out where they are online. Find out how they prefer to be marketed to. Again, if you've been building your community, you're getting a taste of who they are, what's important to them, and then you're going to craft your strategy of how you're going to pitch to them based on who is already in your community. And if you're building your community, you're actually pitching every time you speak to them, and you're not saying buy my book, but you're saying here's what I think about this, here's how I would approach this. And then when you come and you say, oh well, guess what, I've been talking to you for the last 5 months about my depression and overcoming depression. I've just written my first book about how I did it, and I would love for you to get a copy. And you've done that after months and months of just talking to us about this particular issue. And so we're more primed and ready to hear from you. Now, here are some content ideas I want you to think about. So, again, everything doesn't have to be a hard pitch. Buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. Talk to us about the characters that you're developing. Talk to us about who you are, who are the authors that you love. What excites you about being a writer? What did you do this weekend as it relates to moving your story forward? What is the writing process? All of this is content that you can create that will help people learn about you, help people get excited to follow your journey and to see what happens next. And then when you say, hey, guess what? The book is ready. We're all right there with you because you've been taking us along. And so here are some ideas. I will definitely put the list in the comments that you'll be able to also get it as well. Now, after you've been creating on this content and you've been doing all this work, your book is ready, you've been marketing, you've been on TV, you've been in newspapers, all of these different things, you have to evaluate those goals that you set at the beginning. Was it to make the bestsellers list? Did you make it? Congratulations. Did you sell 1,000 copies of the book? Oh, you only sold 455. What worked? What can you do more of? What didn't you do enough of to get attention to that book? And maybe that information will help you say, okay, now I can replicate this in a different island, in a different country. Maybe my price point wasn't attractive. You can ask people, what was it about the book that didn't make them buy it? Maybe it's just not time. Maybe you didn't offer it in a format that they really want. Consider the different things and be able to use that information to then make different decisions. If you got increased visibility, you got those newspaper clippings, kudos to you. You were able to reach that goal. You got invited to literary festivals and then you showed up. All of those are about increasing your visibility because it's introducing your work to new audiences. So again, if your particular goal was increased visibility, how many festivals did you get to? How many people joined your social media platform? All of these are numbers that you can be looking at to gauge whether you actually connected to the right people who have the potential to purchase your book. And then, of course, did they leave quality reviews for you on Amazon, on Goodreads? Did they create a post on social media and say, oh my gosh, I just read this amazing book by, and they tagged you so that you can see it? They've tagged you in photos with the books. They're giving it away as gifts. All of these are quality reviews that you can use to help measure whether you are having the success that you are after. And of course, sales. Have they purchased the book? Are they still purchasing the book? Are they asking you when's the next book? All of this is good information. Use this to help you continue to sell this book, but also to position yourself for when you're ready to sell the next book. So here's where you can find me, Najee. Go to najeeschool.com and it's a place you can register for free. We currently have some free classes, webinars that you can take there. There are more coming in the new year. There's communities that you can join. Caribbeanpreneur is the main one that everyone gets into once they've joined the platform. And then the other communities are based on the courses that you take. But once you're inside and you've got questions about writing a book or anything around your journey as an author, feel free to leave it there. I love to do it. I prefer to do it there because then other people can come along and read your post and learn from it as well. I hope this has been helpful today. I wish you success on your author journey. You're going to continue to evolve and grow. Please don't give up. Keep writing and write. Even if you've only written one word, one sentence for the day, that's progress. Keep moving towards it. And I wish you success. And please connect with me online, truly Nerissa Golden on Instagram, Nerissa Golden on Facebook. My website is nerissagolden.com. I'm also over on LinkedIn. Take care.